I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see down there below you, or the very first impressions that you have as you come back down to the surface. Are you coming off the cloud yet?
Yes.
What do you see down there below you?
Very green, rolling hills.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like mountains, but no, they're not. Really, really big. And a lake.
Is there grass, trees?
Just rolling meadows, and not a lot of trees.
Mm-hmm. Now, look around you and see what else you see around you.
I see rocks poking through the grass.
Mm-hmm. What I'd like you to do is just look down at where your feet would be and tell me if you can see your feet.
I know they're there, but
What do you see?
I'm trying to see them.
Are you aware of having a body?
Vaguely.
Okay. Now, do you know who you are? Are you male or female?
I strangely feel like I'm not familiar with.
And it's okay, whatever it is. You may not be in a physical form. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and on the count of 3, you will get a much clearer sense of who you are and where you are. Okay? So 1, you're getting there. 2, it's coming to you, and 3, just allow yourself to get a clear sense right now. And tell me if you can see your feet.
I can see them.
Okay.
For me.
And do you have shoes on your feet?
They're not quite shoes. They're shoes. They're made of leather, it seems.
Okay. Are they like sandals?
They're clothed. They're almost like boots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want you to just look at yourself, at maybe your hands. Do you have clothes on you?
I have clothes. They're more like drapings.
Mm-hmm. Now, does your body feel like male or female?
Feel female.
Mm-hmm. Are you young or old?
Older.
Okay. Does your body feel healthy?
Yes.
Good. Now I want you to go to the place where you live and look at the outside of them, at the outside of that place. So just imagine yourself standing in front of the place where you live. Tell me what you see.
It's made of a thatching wood, timbers. It's small, seemed dirty.
Do you live there by yourself or with other people?
I don't see anybody, but I feel like there should be somebody there.
Okay. There are windows in this house?
There's a window to my right as I look at it.
So I'd like you to go inside now. And I want you to see yourself eating a meal. So maybe just imagine or visualize yourself having a meal. And tell me what you're seeing and if you're there by yourself or with other people.
By myself, and I'm eating from some sort of bowl.
Is this the food that you prepared for yourself?
It is.
Do you know what that food is?
It's like a porridge of some sort.
Now are you sitting at a table on the floor?
At a table.
Okay. And is it a small table or a large table?
A very small table.
So it's just for you?
Yeah, maybe just a little, yeah. It's not big enough for a lot of people.
Now I'd like you to become aware now of your work, the work that you do, or anything. What do you occupy your time with? What is your role where you are?
I farm. I work in a field.
And what do you grow?
Potatoes.
And then what do you do with them?
I gather them. I have to make sure I don't miss any. And I wipe the dirt off them. I put them into there's something hanging around my neck.
Like a sack? Basket?
It has an open top, like almost like a basket.
And what do you do with the potatoes after that?
I bring them and I put them into a larger container where other people are putting their potatoes.
Do you sell them?
They don't belong to me.
Is it for the community? Or are you working for somebody else?
I work for somebody else.
Do you get paid for your work?
Yes.
Are you a peasant working on a...
Yes.
Okay. And how much do you work? Do you work every day or do you have time off?
I don't feel joy.
Well, it must be hard to work so much. Is that what your whole life is about, working in the field?
Yes.
Do you have any family?
I don't.
Okay. Now, do you know what your name is?
Yeah.
And by any chance, do you know what year it is? You may notice maybe a pamphlet that the farm owner has, or something you've seen like hanging on a tree that has a year on it or date that you may not have noticed before, but now it's just gonna jump at you.
Oh, 16, 40.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like you to move. Allow yourself to leave that scene very easily and comfortably, and I'd like you to move to the next important event in that lifetime. Next important event, date in that lifetime. And just tell me what you're seeing around you. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a funeral. But I'm seeing
Do you know whose funeral it is?
I don't, but a lot of people are there. And it's a procession.
Are you part of the procession, or are you observing it?
I'm observing it. I'm just watching.
And what are you feeling as you're observing it?
That I'm supposed to feel something, but I don't. And I'm with a lot of people. And there's a lot of noise. And it's supposed to feel important.
Is it maybe the owner of the farm or some member of royalty or something? Political figure?
It's somebody local. The road is cobblestone. We're in the countryside.
And you don't feel sad?
I don't feel sad, no.
What do you feel instead?
Relief.
Do you know if that's a person that maybe caused hardship for people?
Yeah, they did.
So do you think things will get better now?
I think it will, yeah. I think we all feel that way.
So, are you still the same age as before, or did you get older?
I'm older.
About how old are you?
I'm sore. But I'm not that old. I'm not very old.
Approximately how old are you?
40.
You've been working all your life, haven't you? And you have to keep going.
Yes.
Are you still by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like you now to allow that scene to fade away. Allow that to just disappear and allow yourself to move forward to the last day of that lifetime. Move to the last day of that lifetime. Just tell me what you're seeing.
Of my house.
Are you laying down inside the house?
I'm laying down on my cot.
Is there anybody around you, with you?
There's a man.
And who's the man?
I don't know. He's got a kind face.
What is he doing?
He's holding my hand. He's so big.
Is he a priest, perhaps, or just a neighbor?
Maybe he's a priest, maybe he's a monk. He's dressed in almost like burlap or something. He's just so kind. He's so beautiful. I just feel nothing but love from him. He's just holding my hand and he's smiling at me.
Are you experiencing any pain?
I'm struggling to breathe.
Just allow yourself to experience that. It will not affect you. Any physical sensations will not affect you right now, and you will continue to breathe very easily and comfortably as you see those visions in front of you. So what is it that, what condition do you have, or why are you dying?
I have pneumonia. And I feel like I'm drowning.
How long have you had it?
A long time.
Was it caused by your work in the field?
I got sick and there was no care. Other people got sick too, but they were young. It rained a lot. It was cold all the time.
And how old are you now, approximately?
45. 46.
Now, do you know what the name of the place where you live is? Or where it is? What is it?
It's in England. It's in northern England.
I want you now to just allow yourself to gently and easily leave this body behind and just float out. You don't have to worry about any of the concerns, pain and worries of that lifetime as Anna, and just leave it behind. And as you drift out of that body go into this beautiful space where you feel comforted and loved and accepted. And you take some time to heal and some time to reintegrate and become back yourself, your soul self. And as you're able to look back at the life you have just lived as Anna, I want you to look back, review, and tell me what you have learned from that experience as Anna.
I feel regretful.
What are you regretting?
That I didn't use my time to make anything better. My home was dark. I didn't feel like I brought light to anybody. I just worked and survived. And I didn't have hope. And I regret that I didn't have hope. And do more.
Would you have been able to do more and bring light to others? Was that an option for you in that lifetime?
It didn't feel like it when I was there.
Well, now that you are seeing it from a higher perspective and you can see all the possibilities and all the options, they now become available to you.
Yes. I could have smiled and behaved hopefully, because now I understand. I could have, just by smiling, I could have made others feel lighter. And I missed that opportunity.
And so you feel now that you didn't spend the time right.
I didn't spend it properly. I was trying to get by. I didn't take advantage of what little I had. I never had children. I never tried to teach what I learned. It was hollow. I felt like I just put in time.
And I'd like you now to just allow Anna to drift back into her experience at that time, allowing her to continue on her way. She will resolve the issues that she needs to resolve and continue with her lessons. And I want you now to imagine that you're drifting and floating, just simply going forward to another time and space, another life experience. And just allow yourself to be taken to another life experience. And I'm going to count from 1 up to 3, and on the count of 3, you will again look around and see yourself in a different place and time, the different life experience that is most relevant to you today. 1, beginning to move there. 2, almost there. And 3, landing on the surface. Just tell me what you're seeing.
Cobblestone road, buildings, narrow street, busy.
Are you in a city?
Yes.
And do you have a male or female body?
I'm a male.
Are you young or old?
I'm in my 20s.
Is your body healthy?
There's something inside that's wrong. My stomach. I have digestive issues. But generally, I feel good.
Okay. And I'd like you to tell me what you're doing in that city right now.
I'm sitting in my home, and it's a nice home. And I'm writing. And I'm looking forward to some friends coming to visit.
What are you writing?
I'm writing poetry.
You're a poet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm taking drugs.
Why are you doing that?
I'm taking drugs because they're supposed to help with the pain, but I don't take them for the pain.
You don't have the pain?
The pain's from my stomach, but I have a medicine. It's an opium. And I love the way it makes me feel. And I'm presently feeling very upbeat.
Because you just took opium?
And I'm writing, and a friend going.
If you didn't take the opium, would you have the pain?
I would.
But you're taking it more because of how it makes you feel.
I am.
Are you addicted to opium?
I'm addicted to being the center of attention and being creative, and the opium lets me do that.
Now, what is it that you do right now with your life, other than writing poetry?
I have money.
You're from a well-to-do family.
I don't know. I don't feel a closeness to any parents. I must have an inheritance.
Is there any work that you do? Or during the day? How do you occupy your time?
I lend money.
You lend money?
I work in a bank.
Okay.
But I have a lot of money in this bank.
Okay. So you actually have to go to work on a daily basis?
I'm not keeping regular hours. And I know that people are afraid to tell me that.
Do they expect you to keep regular hours?
Yes.
But do you feel that you don't have to follow those rules?
I feel like I don't have to. I feel that for some reason I feel like they need me more than I need them. I think this was my father's bank, or somebody in my family, my grandfather's bank.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like to do is I like to write. Makes me really happy.
What do you write about?
Beauty and the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
And I have oh my goodness. I have a sarcastic, commentative look on people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm angry at them.
Why are you angry at them? Are you angry at human nature?
I'm angry they don't get it.
What do you want them to get?
That life's not a machine. So I write about the beauty of it. I love writing. I don't think anybody really takes it seriously. I don't do it for others, I do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in a 2-story house.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else live in that house?
Squatters and friends and people I play with and party with, and I don't have any thing I'm attached to there. I didn't buy the house. I own the house.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you perhaps go and look at a newspaper that may be in your house and just see the date on the newspaper?
Yeah.
What date do you see?
It's French.
Mm-hmm.
1752.
Mm-hmm. And what city is this paper published in?
I'm trying to read it.
It's okay. Just allow it to just drift into your awareness. 1, 2, on the count of 3 now. Just allow it to come to you. Are you in France?
I feel like I'm in France, or on the language is French.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Paris though.
Okay. That's okay. Now I would like you to just let go of any images in your mind right now and just drift and flow gently, going deeper and deeper again. Drift and flow to the next important event in this lifetime. Next important event in this lifetime. And on the count of 3, you will be there and you will tell me what you see. 1, 2, getting there, and 3. Tell me what you're seeing.
Yeah. There's fear.
What is happening?
the government is patrolling the streets.
Why do they do that?
There's, yeah, huh. This is the beginning of the revolution, right?
Are you involved in any way?
I'm not. I'm not because I'm rich, but I'm not. I stay to myself.
So you don't pick sides?
I empathize with these people. I'm happy that they're standing up for themselves. This is what I'd always hated about people. The sheep willing to just take it, but these people aren't. I'm a little scared for my life.
So what is it that you hate about them? That they're following?
They were following. They weren't asking good questions. I loaned money to them. I didn't have to work to get the money to give them.
Is it the ones that are beginning the revolution or the rich ones?
These look like farmers. They're coming in. That my friends have been telling me about it's not just here, but there's a real fear, the tension, and these people who I always resented are becoming very clear of purpose. Now I'm a little bit afraid that what I wish for could actually hurt me.
What do you think will happen to you?
I'm afraid they'll see me as part of the class of people that represent all the things that have hurt them. And I'm afraid that they're gonna kill me.
Are you by yourself right now, or are there people with you?
I'm currently by myself, and I'm looking out the window.
And how old are you right now? About?
Late 40s, early 50s.
Now allow the images to drift away, just fade away and just go deeper. Float and drift, drift and float, and go to the last day of this lifetime. The last day of this lifetime. Now you will not have any physical sensations that will hurt you, so you can talk about it. What are you seeing right now?
It's horrible.
What is happening?
There's fighting. There's panic. There's fear. There's people falling down. There's horses stepping on people.
Are you in the middle of it, or are you observing?
Everybody's in it. I'm trying to stay clear, but I'm being pulled into the mass, the noise, all the people.
Are you fighting, or are you just an innocent bystander?
I'm an innocent bystander.
And are you still in the same city?
Yes.
What is happening? What are they fighting for now? What are they trying to do?
Yeah. They're gonna let their friends out of jail.
They're trying to break people out of jail. And did you just happen to be near the jail?
No, the throngs of people are everywhere. And they're being allowed to do what they wanted to do, and the anger's still there. In fact, the more room they're given, the angrier they're becoming. It's horrible.
I want you to gently drift to the very last moment of your life and tell me what happens to you.
I'm knocked over and I'm trampled on.
By horses or people?
Both. It's complete pandemonium.
I want you to just gently and easily drift out of your body. Leave it behind. With all the pain and suffering and fear gone, just feel the freedom. Allow your spirit to take some time to heal and reintegrate and become whole again. And once you gain clarity of consciousness and clarity of mind, just allow yourself to reflect back on that lifetime. And tell me, what were the lessons that you gained from that life experience?
I should have had more conviction and faith and confidence in what I innately knew to be true. I resented those people, not because they were poor, but because they had it within them to do so much better. But I didn't do anything to help even just one person to see that.
I thought you were trying to do that with your poetry.
I never shared the poetry. I wrote it. I let people read it, but I didn't. It was more my own catharsis. It was my own venting, my own relief. But I didn't have the confidence to show it in a public forum or even to use it once to help even one person. I could have forgiven alone. I could have done so many things to inspire just one person. But instead, I just complained about it.
Now, do you think this, as you reflect, that if you inspired even one person, that would not have been time wasted? That you have achieved something?
I think if I had inspired one person, then at least whatever I regretted wouldn't be something as significant as what I do regret. I think that missed a great opportunity. I think that's what my position was for. I think that's why I had the wealth. I think that's why I had the opportunity to live freely. I wasn't supposed to be afraid. I wasn't supposed to be afraid to help somebody.
Now, when you said that you should have had more conviction, faith, and confidence in what you knew to be true, what is it that you knew to be true?
I knew that everybody has, many people have so much more potential than they think when they would come to me. It was always with humility. And I knew the humility was not real at times. I resented the whole process. I wanted them to know what I knew, and the only reason I knew it is because I didn't have to deal or let things get in the way that they have to deal with. I didn't have to worry about where my next meal was coming from or how I was going to pay my rent. And outside of those items, I was allowed to feel and imagine and dream. And I wanted them to know that they had the same thing. But I didn't do anything concrete about it. If I could have potentially taken one person and simply given them a similar lifestyle, maybe they would have began to dream. Maybe they would have expressed themselves differently than taking to the streets.
I want to ask you about the opium, or about the addiction. Were you able to overcome that in your life experience?
No.
Was that a significant challenge for you in that life?
That was my safe place. That was where my creativity came from. That was where my coping and my courage.
So in that lifetime, that was a positive influence in your life?
I knew the opium was a crutch. And I wanted to have all the same experiences without the need for... I was told it was going to at some point kill me. I was told that it was doing damage. Oh my God.
What is it?
Oh my God. I was told if I abused it, it would kill me, so I moderated my use of it.
And how do you feel about that now? What was the significance of that?
That's what I do today.
Just allow all of that awareness to come and stay with you. And as you're allowing that to stay, let's begin to drift away from that life and seeing you're drifting and flowing, leaving that young man to continue on his or her journey with his soul. He will find peace. He will find what he's supposed to find. We're leaving him there to continue on his own path, just as you left Anna before on her own path. And now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Jim to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. And I'm going to ask to speak to the higher consciousness of Jim. May I speak to the higher consciousness?
Yes.
I respect the power of the higher consciousness because I know that it takes care of Jim's body and does a very good job of it. I also know that the higher consciousness has the records of everything that has ever happened to Jim in this life and all other lifetimes and parallel time frames. So I respect the power of this higher consciousness, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Now, do I have permission to ask questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know that the higher consciousness could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Jim to see today. But yet you chose to bring forward the lifetime of Anna and the lifetime of this young man and friends. Why did you pick those particular lifetimes?
Anna represented no hope, a repetition without expectations, living to serve and to subsist. And by showing Anne, we can see how just something as small and humble as a tiny piece of hope and joy brought forward could have made a huge difference. And so even without any means, her life could have been wonderful. The man in France had every opportunity. No excuses financially. Was aware at a deep level of what made him different than the customers he served. He saw the growing unrest and the crisis and the pain and the impoverishment. He knew what the differences were. And he could have made a difference if even just one person's life. And who knows what would have happened. But instead, he lived inside his head. His relationships were flighty, based on, and he lived in quiet fear and desperation behind his drug addiction. And he never brought the joy of life for somebody else. And his life ended, ironically, by the very people that he both despised but loved so much. And I can see pieces of both people today.
Talk about how it integrates into Jim's experience today and how it informs him.
I want to learn from Anne that humility and repetition and routine are almost irrelevant. All I have to do is express the joy that's already in me. And with whatever gifts I've been given, monetarily or maybe intellectually, I don't have to do anything grand while I'm here. 6 kids. Or anybody who I've already been gifted to be with. I share myself with them and not be afraid. And help at least one of them develop and build a faith and joy themselves and the universe. And I don't have to do anything magnanimous.
Now Jim has always had this sense of urgency, in the sense that there is a race against time to accomplish something. Why does he have that? Does that have any connection to the experiences you brought forward for him?
Jim was always reminded of the temporary time on this planet, and he almost lost it instantly.
In this lifetime?
When he was born, he almost died. And his grandparents, who he loved more than anybody he's ever had in his life, always reminded him that he needed to take care of life because it's precious, and he was given another chance. And because anything could happen at any time, he always felt that he needed to find that purpose before something happened.
But he doesn't have to worry about that, does he?
No.
Because he has an opportunity every day to just impact just one person with just that smile, right? There's nothing that needs to be accomplished necessarily. Is that what you're saying?
That's absolutely it. I have a moment. I have it now. I just have to smile.
So is it okay for Jim to just take a breath and relax and focus on the now?
Yes, it is.
Good. Now in relation to that, Jim wants to know if there is something that he should do that would make him the happiest. If there's something in particular that he should perhaps study or do, career path.
Jim should begin to think about teaching, potentially even spiritual work.
Soul experience on this planet, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
That he can share with others. And is that something that he has been afraid to do on a subconscious level?
Yes, he's been afraid to make a mistake. Potentially guide someone with the wrong information, or maybe hurt somebody inadvertently, or even unlock something inside somebody that he wouldn't know what to do with.
Now, has there been an experience in his past that caused him to feel that that may be
Yes.
a possibility? Now, he doesn't have to bring it forward now, but can he let go of that? Can he release that belief? Because based on the life of Anna and the man, it seems like there is greater danger in not taking the chance. And he will regret more if he doesn't do or be the light to others. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So it's okay for him now to let go of the fear, let go of the beliefs that he might make the wrong step.
Oh, yes.
Just do it.
Yes.
Good. Now, is there any particular, does he need to get more education in any area, or is it okay for him to have the skills that he has now?
He needs to develop confidence that would come with education and the skills of methodology and application that comes with education.
Methodology of teaching?
Yes.
Of anything or in any particular field?
Mathematics and physics.
Does it mean he may be able to teach at a high school level, perhaps? Or
he doesn't want to teach math and physics.
Is that something that he will be good at?
He wants to begin to help undo. He's highly motivated by Great Britain's voyage.
Mm-hmm.
And looks up to him very much as a scientist first, and David Bohm as a scientist first, who then gently moves and helps people develop the faith in the confidence in their faith. Jim wants to do that. He wants people to believe and trust, because he expresses the balance and the synthesis of those two worlds.
So it is not necessarily the math and physics that he needs to teach. Is it the integration of science and spirituality?
Correct.
Okay.
That makes him so happy.
Now, would learning and listening to Cryon be of assistance to Jim in furthering his understanding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Jim actively listens and pays attention to the same principles in people, but just wasn't aware.
Now, Jim has always had this tendency to complicate life in order to then overcome it, and almost needing to prove it that he is capable of overcoming. Can you speak to why he has experienced that?
Yes. When Jim was in university, an event occurred, although the feelings had already been there for many years, but it was in university, second year of university, that an event occurred that caused him to crystallize
What
that
happened?
meant. During one of his classes, a professor made fun of Jim in front of the class because he told Jim that he wasn't taking life seriously enough, and that it's only because academics came easy to him that he was able to succeed in school, but that he had nothing to offer because he didn't know of any of the pain that other people had felt in trying to achieve the same academic objectives. Jim's always felt like that, but he didn't ever know what to do with it. So he dropped out of that university and transferred to a school that intimidated him, and moved to another town that he didn't want to move to because he'd always said he never wanted to live there, so that he could prove that he could overcome personal problems. And he slept on park benches, and he put bags in his shoes, and he borrowed books, because he wanted to prove that he was worthy.
Now is it time for him to let go of that energetic signature that he attached himself to.
Oh, yes.
So just please allow him and help him to release that tie. Just you can imagine as though a ribbon that's tied to your arm just is being untied. And as the ribbon is untied, that energetic cord is just floating away, returning back to that professor that spoke to Jim back so many years ago. And as that cord is floating away, the energy that Jim gave away to that professor, to other people, is returning back and integrated fully into his being.
Oh my goodness.
Just allowing all the energy, all the beliefs that are no longer serving Jim to just be released and his essence to be returned and integrated back. And when that is done, just let me know. Now as that happens, Jim will no longer have the need to create difficulties just to prove that he can overcome them. Because it seems like he has enough people in his life that need him, that he can share his smile and joy with, enough people that he can impact positively. And so he has quite a few things that he can challenge himself with, and the challenges don't have to be negative. Is that correct? Good. Now Jim also wants to know how he can better focus on the things that he is aligned with and not focus on the things that are not good for him or that he's trying to avoid. Do you have any suggestion on what he can do to take his attention on positive things, things he's striving for, and not focus on the negative things, things he wants to avoid?
Begin to do some simple activities that, together with this session, will reinforce his right to feel well and to think positively. He can begin to resume his walking and running activities. And
how would those help?
The energy and the release of well-feeling chemicals in the brain, the expression of anything that potentially could be negative to physical exertion.
Mm-hmm.
And these things Jim knows. Together with this lesson today.
Mm-hmm. It will help him restart that. Is there anything else he can do, or can you continue to feed him even on an intuitive level, things that he can do to stay focused on the positive things? Would the session today help him make a breakthrough with that?
Today is a life-changing experience for Jim.
Wonderful.
And he's going to allow himself to feel blessed and lucky, and being blessed and fortunate are okay. And he doesn't have to apologize. And as has happened so many times before, the right people will come in to his life.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Now, even in the life of the man, there was a feeling of empathy that he was experiencing, but he wasn't able to really do something with it. And this lifetime, Jim can feel overpowering empathy, and it always spills into pity. So he would like to know the best way to find the boundary, healthy way to experience empathy that is still supporting both himself and the other people.
Jim, as a result of this session, knows that he doesn't have to walk in those other person's moccasins to inspire, simply by being kind and patient and open. He can achieve better results. Jim's pity and his becoming the other person's problem was all part of the same issue. He doesn't have to do that anymore.
Very good. So he can release that right now, that need.
Yes.
And feel lighter and more joyful about it. Good. Now, I want to ask a few questions about his relationships that have probably spanned many lifetimes together, the people that he has been with. In this lifetime, he has had and continues to have some distance and resistance with his mother, even though she has already moved to the spirit state. Now, has she been present in either one of those lifetimes he experienced as Anna or as the man in France?
No.
Okay. Can you explain what is the reason for the resistance and to forgiving her?
Jim felt that many of his life lessons about empathy came from his mother. And when she got sick, he resented that her empathy turned into disease, and that she hadn't managed to control the limits of it, and that she was abandoning him because she wouldn't learn to manage it. And Jim was angry because he always thought she could fix it.
But of course, his mother had her own soul path and her own experiences. And I wonder if at this point she would be willing to come forward and give a message to Jim and maybe make it clear to him why her experience was the way that it had to be, so he can see things clearer.
Yes.
And if her essence can come. Is she here?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Just allow yourself to hug her or just be in her presence. And she may give you some messages or just tell you how much she loves you. And when you're ready, just tell me what's happening.
It's so clear to me now.
What is it that you understand now?
She had put herself in a position and felt that she'd let so many people down. But the only way out was to get sick, and she's asking me not to do the same thing.
I ask her if she's around you still throughout your life. And is she going to continue to stay and support you and guide you so that you don't have to use illness as a healthy boundary between empathy and yourself? Good.
Well, she's so happy.
Very good. And do you feel the clearing? Are you able to forgive her now? Good. I want you to just give her a hug. And just take a moment to bask in her light and share your own with her. And when you're ready, just allow that image to fade away. The feeling and her presence will always stay with you, but for the moment, just allow that image to fade away. We're going to go back to the higher consciousness of Jim. Bringing it back, higher consciousness. I want now to focus on the relationship that Jim had with Denise, still has with Denise. What is the nature of that relationship? What was the foundation for the lessons or interactions that they had to have in this lifetime? Help him understand it better.
Denise was so compassionate and sensitive and kind, beautiful, and yet sometimes viciously mean and scary.
I want you to review from a higher perspective. Just allow the higher perspective on this, on the soul experience of Jim and Denise. And allow the bigger picture to come in, revealing where their paths have crossed before and what has brought them to this current lifetime, to reveal the nature of their relationship. Has Jim and Denise had life experiences before together?
No.
Okay. Is this their first encounter together?
Yes.
Is she a younger soul or an experienced soul?
Denise is younger.
What was the reason that she chose to come in together with Jim? What was the reason that Jim agreed to be her partner?
Jim saw a beautiful, warm, friendly person who was wrestling with a very difficult series of life circumstances. She had 3 children taken away from her by her ex-husband. And Jim wanted to make it all right. She was living in a place that wasn't the greatest, and Jim wanted to give her a new home and car and jewelry, and he did those things. He wanted to make things just, and he helped her do that by paying for very expensive lawyers. He wanted her to have her happiness and joy. And Denise wanted a relief from struggle. And Jim made her laugh and made things comfortable.
Do they still have a role to play in each other's life, or is their contract completed?
They have a son together.
Outside of their son, does Jim have a specific role to play in Denise's life?
No. No.
So his work is done with her?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can he release her now, the energy of her? She will still be present because they share a son.
Yes.
He can release the energetic hold that she has had on him. Their contract is completed. Good. Now I want to ask several questions about the health issues that Jim has had in his life. So you already referred to the hyaline membrane that he was born with as something that reminded him to value the preciousness of life. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Was there anything else that you want to add about that particular experience?
That, in addition to deeply appreciating a second chance at life, Jim was reminded of the contrast by the doctor, who couldn't save his own son just weeks before, and this difference being ascribed to an intervention combined with a visit for a special spiritual person who was simply passing through town and didn't even know our family.
Now, the message about second chances, does it relate to the previous experiences that he had where he now has a chance to do things he regretted not doing before? Does he have now another opportunity to do things that he didn't do in his previous experiences and regretted that?
Yes. Yes. That's the significance of it. He's always felt the significance of it. He just didn't know how to get there.
Mm-hmm. So it really set the tone for his entire lifetime, didn't it?
His whole life.
Mm-hmm. And this is a lifetime where you have another chance. Very good. Now, please speak to the meaning of the heart problem that he had. What was the language of the body with that? What was the meaning of that? What was the symbolism of that?
The part of the heart that was defective or repaired was working very hard all the time. The surgery that corrected the heart rate, nobody knows why it works, but that part of the heart was trying to compensate or communicate somehow, but had developed a life of its own and wasn't sustainable. And I think he knows now that that part of the heart and the body is critical to being in harmony with the universe, and it doesn't need to be noisy, and it doesn't need to be beating fast. It's okay to just listen to it.
So it's bringing back the entire body into integration, balance, and harmony.
Everything is connecting now together.
Mm-hmm. So what I'd like you to do at this point is to do a body scan of Jim. I want you to just, for Jim's conscious mind, to go deeper and just release and drift deeper and deeper and deeper, letting go. Allowing the higher consciousness to come full force to the forefront. And I would like to ask you to do a full body scan, starting with the top of his head. Just doing a body scan and identifying any issues that you find that need attention. And just let me know what they are. Go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, there's something on the right side. It could be the liver.
Now allow the full awareness to come to you. 1, 2, 3. Full awareness, clarity. Close your eyes. Full awareness and clarity. Continuing that body scan. What is it on the right side?
It's the liver.
What's happening with liver?
It's got way too much fat on it. It's got toxins. It's working too hard.
Okay, I want you now to go ahead and see if you can do whatever needs to be done to fix the issue. Know that you can release the toxins. You can do what needs to be done or start the process. Are you able to do that right now?
Yes.
Good. So go ahead and begin that process of cleansing his liver, releasing the toxins, whatever needs to be done. Now, while it is happening, please continue your scan. What else needs attention?
There's a building up. There's a problem forming in the veins in his legs and feet. Specifically his left foot. And it's not the arthritis. It's something else. It's a blood supply.
Can you do something now to alleviate the situation?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Now, how is the liver? Is that completed or is it still?
It's working, and it's still working. It's still working. There's so much that was in it.
Well, you can handle it, right? You can take care of it. Just continue cleansing it. Is there anything that you want Jim to do when he comes out of hypnosis to continue the process, to make sure it stays healthy? What is it?
Yeah, he needs to begin to get active, and although he needs to find a way to get off those heart pills.
Right.
There's too many of them. Too long.
Well, we're going to get to the heart in just a minute. Let's finish with liver.
There's so many pills he's taking.
Okay.
That it's hurting the body.
Okay. Is it safe for him should he go talk to his doctor and see if the number of pills can be reduced?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you have to do.
Is his body ready to reduce the medication level?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how is the liver healing going?
It's going well.
Okay. You will let me know when it's completed.
Yes.
Is it completed?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, what about the veins in his legs and feet?
Yes.
Is the blood flow normal now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is him becoming active going to help him maintain the healthy blood flow?
It's going to help so many things, and yes.
Okay. So can you please scan his heart now? After his heart condition, what is the condition of his heart now, and what needs to be done to get him off the medication and get him completely healthy and healed? You can speak. Go ahead.
The rhythm The rhythm is fine now.
His heart is working well now?
The heart's working very well.
Is it harmonized, the parts that were out of harmony?
Yes, it feels good.
Good. So he needs to get in touch with his doctor and begin to reducing his medications.
Yes.
Will he be able to stop all of his medications in the future?
Almost.
Okay. Does he have a good doctor that will help him do that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now please finish the scan of the body. Is there anything else that you need to bring his attention to?
No.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now I have just a few more questions. Throughout his lifetime, Jim has had recurrent dreams. One dream in particular is about the large hills and gravel and sand. They're colorful, sort of candy colored. What is the significance of that dream? Did it remind him of anything?
There was a play area on a shoreline. And when Jim was younger, he played in a similar place. And it reminded him of this place that he had been to before. He just didn't know where it was.
Does he know now?
Yes, he does.
Okay, good. And this is just a safe place that makes him feel good?
Yes.
Good. Now another recurrent dream he's had is about an airplane falling out of the sky. What is the significance of that dream?
Jim's irrational fear of the largest objects he could picture being out of control and hurting everyone around. So he plays this image.
Is this in any way related to the lifetime when he was trampled by the horses and the mob? Or does it come from somewhere else?
Came from somewhere else.
Okay. Is it okay for him to let go of the fear? Because we were talking about just being in the moment, experiencing the joy of the moment.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so please help him to just clear it out of his psyche, his subconsciousness. Just freeing out that fear and letting it go and releasing it. Released. Good. Now he also has a phobia of standing on a high place over fast waters. Where does that come from?
He fell.
When did he fall?
He was traveling. He was with friends.
Was it in this lifetime?
No. No. It was fairly recent.
Mm-hmm. So the memory is fresh in his subconscious mind.
It's fairly vivid.
Did he die as a result of that fall?
Yes.
Was this in the lifetime just immediately before life as Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything unresolved from that lifetime that he's still resolving now?
No.
Was that simply an accident?
Yes.
Can he allow that knowledge to heal him now and allow to begin to release that cord?
Yes.
Okay, good. So just again imagine that you have a ribbon tied to your wrist. And just untie that wrist and allow that to float away. Drift away back to that lifetime, back to that experience. It no longer affects you, it no longer has to stay with you, it no longer has any power over you. Very good. Now I have one last question that Jim has. He wanted to know why he made a decision to come here to be incarnated in this lifetime as Jim. And you have already answered it in so many different ways, but I wanted it to be sort of a final message. And first of all, a clear understanding, was it his own decision to come here now?
Yes. He so wants to share the hope and take away the fear of the unknown. Give people faith that everything's okay. And happiness can be a natural state. It's an opportunity to do that.
Very nice. Thank you. Now, is there any last message that you want to give Jim before we let you go and bring him back?
Jim needs to know that he can always feel what he's feeling today. That the joy that he felt as a child when he was nicknamed Smiley can come back now. And he can stay in that place.
Thank you.